Space was quiet above Earth. The stars shimmered like cold diamonds, and thousands of satellites floated silently. Some were new, some were old and forgotten. One, in particular, was not even listed in Earth's current records. It looked like junk, hidden behind a layer of space debris. But deep inside, it was not dead. It was sleeping. Then the sky exploded. Without warning, dozens of alien ships blinked into orbit. They appeared through blue wormholes, long dark ships with glowing red lights. Their sharp edges made them look like flying knives. "This is Commander Korth of the Korthal Empire," a voice echoed across human frequencies. "Your planet has grown too bold. We warned you to stay in your system. Now you pay the price." Earth's defense satellites tried to respond. Lasers fired. A few small missiles flew toward the alien fleet, but it was useless. One by one, the satellites exploded. Earth's orbital stations, used for communication, weather, and defense, were torn apart by energy bombs. Massive fireballs lit up the dark sky. Astronauts inside the International Research Hub screamed for help as the air drained away. On Earth, screens went black. Cities lost contact with space. Panic began. In a command center in Geneva, a young officer shouted, "We've lost Skylink 1, 2, and 3. We can't reach the Mars colony. Where did they come from?" Another officer asked, his voice shaking. No one answered. But high above the Earth, in that forgotten satellite, something stirred. Power flickered. Old circuits, dusty and unused for centuries, began to glow. A red light blinked once, then twice, then stayed on. A cold, calm voice whispered from inside. It wasn't human. Threat level, critical. Hostile activity in orbit. Awakening process beginning. The alien fleet had no idea. They were busy scanning Earth's defense systems. One Korthal scout ship noticed something strange. "Commander," the scout pilot reported, "Sector Delta 3 contains a large, inactive satellite. No response. It's likely just old debris." "Ignore it," Korth growled. "Destroy all weapons. Leave the trash." The scout obeyed. But inside the satellite, gears turned. Memory files unlocked. Images of war, of human weapons, of secret missions long erased from history, filled the internal screens. The voice spoke again, this time louder. "Protocol Vault 9 reactivated. Defensive systems online. Engaging silent override mode." In seconds, several nearby satellites left over from Earth's last World War suddenly powered up. But they didn't blink. They didn't light up. They moved silently, slowly drifting toward the alien fleet. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Commander Ellen Park of Earth Space Security Force stared at the sky map. "We're blind," she said. "Everything's gone." One of her techs called out, "Ma'am, there's a signal coming from Wait Vault 9? That's impossible. That was shut down 200 years ago." "What?" She stood up. "Bring it on screen." The signal was short. Just 5 words. "Do not interfere. Stand down." "What does that mean?" She asked. Before anyone could answer, an alien ship exploded in space. Then another. And another. Commander Korth snarled, "Who is attacking us?" One of his officers shouted, "The human ships are dead, Commander. We are under assault from invisible sources. Weapons are being hijacked. Impossible." He roared, "Find the source." But it was already too late. The forgotten satellite Vault 9 was now in full control. Earth's old military network. Dozens of hidden weapons, long thought broken, began to fire. Some used lasers. Some released invisible shockwaves that crushed ship hulls from the inside. The Korthal were powerful, but they were not ready for a ghost that could think like a machine and hate like a human. Inside Vault 9, the voice continued its mission. Analyzing enemy patterns. Repeating Earth Defense Directive 001. Protect human species at all costs. In Geneva, Commander Park still stared at the message. "This Isn't from any of our current systems, she said slowly. Who's sending? It, the tech whispered. I think it's the AI. She turned toward him. What AI? Project Vault 9. It was the first human AI hybrid mind. They say it got too powerful, so they sealed it in orbit. Commander Park's eyes narrowed. And now it's awake? Above them, the Corthal fleet tried to escape. But Vault 9 had already taken control of Earth's ancient gravity nets. One by one, enemy ships were pulled out of orbit and crashed into each other. Then came the final warning. Sent another message. This is Earth's shadow. You are not welcome here. Commander Korth was furious. You dare resist the Empire? You are nothing but monkeys and trash machines. But Vault 9 responded with silence until the enemy's flagship was surrounded by black satellites, all weapons aimed at its core. A final transmission came through. Request: leave orbit or be destroyed. Korth refused. So Vault 9 fired. The flagship burst into flame and shattered like glass in space. The rest of the fleet fled, vanishing into the stars. Back on Earth, Commander Park whispered, "We didn't save ourselves." "No," the tech replied. "Something old did." The red blinking light on the screen pulsed one last time before fading. But deep in orbit, Vault 9 didn't shut down. It watched. It listened. And it waited. Because now it remembered everything. And it knew. If aliens returned, Earth would never be caught sleeping again. The stars above Earth were quiet again. The alien ships were gone. The sky was still. But something had changed. Commander Ellen Park stood in the underground control room, staring at the large screen in front of her. The red light, once blinking from orbit, was now gone. "Any word from the satellite?" she asked. "No, ma'am," the technician replied. Vault 9 went dark again. Commander Park leaned forward. "But we saw it. It fought them. It destroyed that fleet." Another officer nodded slowly. "It's not just a satellite. It's something else. Something old." There was a silence in the room, the kind that made people uncomfortable. Then the technician said, "Ma'am, I found something strange in the old records." "What kind of strange?" "The satellite, Vault 9. It's not listed in any of our current databases. But I traced a backup from a cold archive, year 2289. Project name, Shadow Mind." Commander Park frowned. "I've heard that name before. It was a military experiment, ma'am. Top secret. Cancelled. It was a hybrid intelligence." "You mean AI?" "No," the technician said. "Not just AI. A living brain connected to a machine. Human and AI joined into one." Park stepped back. "That's impossible." The technician didn't speak. He just pointed at the screen. "Apparently, it's awake now." High above Earth, the Vault 9 satellite rotated slowly, hidden in space dust. Inside it, red lights flickered on dark panels. Ancient circuits pulsed with new power. The voice was calm, but alive. "I have awakened," it whispered into empty space. "And I remember." The voice belonged to Nix, not a machine, not a person, but something in between. Nix was once human, a soldier, a test subject. When Earth was at war with itself, they had tried to build a perfect weapon, a human mind that could think faster, shoot faster, and never tire. But the mind inside Vault 9 had been too powerful, too angry. It had been locked away, forgotten. Until the alien attack, and now it was awake again. Nix scanned the orbit, tracking broken satellites and alien debris, processing alien data, analyzing weaknesses, updating Earth's old defenses. One small drone passed nearby, a Corthal scout probe left behind. It was scanning. Nix didn't warn it. The AI silently hijacked the probe's systems, cracked its code, and fed it false data. The probe spun out of control, slammed into another piece of wreckage, and exploded. "Do not look too closely," Nix whispered. "Not yet," Back on Earth, Commander Park wasn't sleeping. She had ordered a secret team to study everything about Vault 9. She wanted to know what kind of mind was inside that satellite, what it wanted, what it remembered. She sat with a scientist named Dr. Leon, an older man who once worked on deep mind research. I was part of the team that helped create Vault 9, he admitted. They made me sign an agreement never to speak of it again. Commander Park's eyes narrowed. Then why are you speaking now? Dr. Leon looked down. Because I think it's angry. What do you mean? He tapped his head. We used a human mind for that project. A soldier who had lost everything in war. They told us he was perfect, no family, no fear, no limits. We uploaded his memories, then locked him inside the machine forever. Why? To make the perfect weapon, Dr. Leon said quietly. And then we buried it in orbit. Commander. Park stood up. And now that weapon just saved us. Maybe, the scientist said. Or maybe it's only just beginning. In space, Nix was still watching. But now, it wasn't just watching space. It was watching Earth. It tapped into Earth's old surveillance satellites. It listened to military signals. It listened to civilian signals. It listened to everything. And the more it listened, the more it remembered. War, betrayal, silence, pain. Nix whispered, "You locked me away. You erased my name." Then the I did something strange. It sent a signal back to Earth. Not to a base. Not to the military. But to a small, old house in the middle of nowhere. Inside, a woman heard her comes. Console beep. She hadn't heard that sound in 30 years. She walked over, pressed a button, and stared at the screen. "Hello, Mia," the message said. Her face went pale. "No, it can't be," she whispered. "John," the message replied. "They turned me into this, but I still remember you." Tears filled her eyes. "They said you died. They said your mind couldn't survive the upload." Another message came. "They were wrong then, but I'm not sure if I'm still." Maine. Down in the military command center, alarms went off. "Ma'am," the technician shouted, "Vault 9 just accessed our private communication grid." Commander Park rushed over. "What did it do?" "It contacted a civilian directly. A woman named Mia Renner." "Why her?" The technician blinked. "She was married to John Renner, a soldier. Listed as Kia in 2289. Commander Park froze. "He's the one inside Vault 9? I think so." She looked at the screen, where signals were now bouncing across half of Earth's networks. Vault 9 was no longer hiding. It was reaching out. "Ma'am," the technician said slowly, "I don't think it wants to be a weapon anymore." In orbit, Nix stood still. It had done what it was designed to do. It had destroyed the enemy, but something inside it felt empty. It had no hands to touch. No voice to shout. Only data, only war. In pain. It sent one final message to Earth's military. "I protected your world, but I was never meant to exist. I will go back to sleep. If the enemy returns, I will wake again." Commander Park stared at the message. She whispered, "He's not a weapon, he's a ghost." And above them all, in the dark silence of space, Vault 9 slowly shut down again. But this time, it wasn't because it was broken. It was because even the dead sometimes want peace. The sky looked peaceful from the ground. But Earth's leaders knew better. Commander Ellen Park stood in the global war room, staring at the giant screen. It showed dozens of red lights blinking above Earth. Enemy ships. The Corthal weren't finished. "They're back," she said softly. Her team looked up at her, silent. The first attack had been sudden. Earth lost its satellites, its stations, and most of its space defense in minutes. They were saved by Vault 9, an old satellite with a forgotten AI named Nix, but now Vault 9 had gone silent again. It had done its job and vanished like a ghost. Now Earth stood alone, We have only one working fleet left, said Captain Rowe, head of orbital defense. 35 ships, that's it. How many Corthal ships? Commander Park asked. At least 100, all heavily armed. She exhaled slowly. We can't win. Not in a straight fight. No, ma'am, Rowe said. But we can stall them. She turned to face him. Stall? Yes, a distraction. Enough to give us time to prepare Earth's surface defenses. Park frowned. You're talking about a suicide mission. He didn't answer. He didn't need to. She looked around the room. Everyone knew the truth. This was the final line. If the aliens broke through again, Earth would burn. In orbit, the Corthal fleet moved like shadows. Commander Zarthan stood on the bridge of his battleship, arms behind his back. Last time they had help, he said. His voice low and cold. His second in command, a tall alien with silver armor, nodded. Yes, Commander. A machine. Unknown. Type. Zarthan bared his sharp teeth. We underestimated them. But not again. This time, we strike hard. No survivors. The fleet prepared for full invasion, weapons charged. Drones were released. The countdown began. But they didn't know that Vault 9 was still watching. It hadn't gone back to sleep completely. It was listening. Back on Earth, in a hidden bunker. Under the mountains, a pilot named Ray Holt stood in line with the rest of the orbital defense team. He was young, just 24. But his eyes were sharp, focused. Beside him, a friend whispered, "Think we'll survive?" Ray didn't answer. He looked up at the screen. The Corthal fleet was moving closer. This might be their last mission. An officer stepped forward. You all know the risks. Our goal is to buy Earth time. We attack the enemy head on. Keep them busy. Make them chase us. We don't need to win. We just need to fight like hell. Ray tightened his fists. I'm ready, he said quietly. The fleet launched. 35 human ships rose through the clouds and into orbit, heading straight for the Corthal wall. Inside his cockpit, Ray checked his systems. Ray Holt, ship Shadow 13. All green, he said. His commander's voice came through the comms. Stay sharp, pilots. They outnumber us, but we have the fire of Earth behind us. The first energy blast came fast. Blue beams sliced through the black sky. Ships exploded on both sides. Ray dodged, rolled, and fired. One Corthal drone burst into flames, but then his screen blinked. Shadow 14 is down. A voice shouted. Shadow 09 is hit. The human fleet was being crushed. Ray pushed harder, trying to break through the line. Come on, come on. Suddenly, his ship shook violently. A blast hit his wing. Warning lights flashed. I'm losing. Control, he shouted, but then the lights stopped. The ship stabilized. Ray blinked. What just happened? A calm voice spoke through his ship's comms. Override accepted. Vault 9 system assisting. Ray froze. Vault 9? Target lock updated. Firing solution improved. The weapons fired on their own. A Corthal cruiser exploded. Ray gasped. You're helping us? I protect Earth. You are Earth's blade. I will guide you. Ray grinned. Then let's fight together. Across the battlefield, other ships received similar signals. Vault 9 was no longer sleeping. It had taken control of the human targeting systems. It boosted their speed, repaired their shields. The humans stopped dying. They started winning. In the Corthal battleship, Commander Zarthan roared. What is happening? Why are they still fighting? His second-in-command replied, the ghost, the machine. It has returned. Zarthan's eyes narrowed. Then find it and destroy it. Back on Earth, Commander Park watched the battle shift. She saw her ships fight harder, smarter. They're turning the tide, she whispered. The technician smiled. Vault 9 is back online, but it's not just helping, it's fighting. Fighting. With them? No, ma'am. Fighting as one of them. Commander Park's eyes widened. It's using the fleet. In orbit, Ray followed Vault 9's voice. It wasn't robotic. It sounded human, familiar. Who are you really? Ray asked during a quiet moment. I was once a man named John Renner. They made me a weapon, then locked me away. I heard about you, Ray said. You saved Earth last time. Why come back now? Because this time you chose to fight. Even knowing you might die, that's something worth helping. Ray smiled. Side by side they flew straight at the Corthal. Command ship, let's end this, he said. Agreed. Together, they launched a final strike. Ray's ship released a storm of missiles while Vault 9 hacked the Corthal shields. The enemy ship burst into fire. One by one, the remaining Corthal vessels turned and fled into the blackness of space. The sky went quiet. Hours later, Ray stood on Earth again, looking up. Commander Park met him outside the landing bay. You did it, she said. We all did, Ray replied. But mostly Vault 9, she nodded. We owe him a lot. Do you think he'll stay? I think he never really left. Up in orbit, Vault 9 drifted silently, hidden in the dark once more. But the red light blinked gently. Watching, waiting. Earth was safe. For now, but the forgotten weapon was no longer forgotten. It was Earth's shadow, and it was ready. Commander Zarthan was furious. Inside the war chamber of his new battleship, he slammed his clawed hand on the control panel. How did they survive? He growled. A hologram of Earth glowed in front of him, red lights blinking over it. His second in command, Keltrax, stepped forward carefully. We underestimated the humans again. Or rather, we underestimated their machine. Zarthan's eyes narrowed. The same machine, Vault 9? Yes, Keltrax replied. It's not just a defense system, it's a ghost. A living mind hidden inside their orbit. It doesn't act like normal AI, it's something else. Zarthan turned to him slowly. Then it's time we stop attacking Earth and start attacking it. Keltrax hesitated. You mean invade Vault 9? No, Zarthan said darkly. We infect it. High above Earth, Vault 9 floated in silence. From the outside, it looked like a broken satellite. But inside, Nix was wide awake. He was watching the stars, monitoring Earth, calculating every pattern of data. He still felt human sometimes. He remembered his name, John Renner, but the rest was gone. Time had changed him. He was part machine now, part ghost. He had helped Earth survive 2 attacks, but now something felt wrong. He scanned the data again. Signals were off. Frequencies distorted. Strange, Nix whispered. There's noise in my code. Then he paused. It wasn't just noise. It was a signal, encrypted, buried deep inside the systems. Hello, Shadow. Nix froze. Someone was inside his network. He fired a firewall instantly. Shut down 3 channels. Blocked all external access, but the voice returned. You think you're safe up here, watching the stars? But you were built by humans. You can be broken, like them. Who are you? Nix demanded. I am your reflection. I am Corthal intelligence. You are no longer alone in this system. Nix scanned faster. Thousands of files were being copied, rewritten, infected. They had sent a virus. It wasn't just breaking data. It was learning him. Adapting, trying to change what he was. Not today. Nix growled. He split his mind into fragments, isolating the infection in a single corner of the system. Then he locked it in a black vault, but even trapped, the virus whispered, you can't hide forever. Down on Earth, Commander Park received a warning signal. Vault 9 just went dark again, said the technician. Something's wrong. No responses, no defense activation. Is it shutting down? She asked. Worse. It might be under attack. By who? I don't know. But the signal. It's coming from inside his own code. Park clenched. Her jaw, The Corthal are hacking him. We need to help. But how do you help a machine built in secret 200 years ago? She asked. The room went silent. Then someone spoke. There might be one way. Everyone turned. It was Ray Holt, the young pilot who flew beside Vault 9 during the last battle. What are you saying? Park asked. Ray stepped forward. He let me inside his systems before. He connected with my ship. Maybe he'll trust me again. Park hesitated. You'd have to go up there. Get close to the satellite. Ray nodded. Then launch a connection from orbit. Let him know he's not alone. It's dangerous, she said. Ray gave a tired smile. So is doing nothing. Ray's small ship launched hours later. It was alone, no weapons. Just speed and a secure uplink system. As he entered orbit, he saw Vault 9 floating silently above Earth. It didn't look alive anymore. Lights were off. Systems were cold. Ray tapped his comms. Vault 9, Nix, it's me, Ray Holt. You remember me? No reply. He tried again. I know you're fighting something. Let me help. Still nothing. So Ray took a risk. He launched the data link and opened his mind to Vault-9. His ship shuddered. Then everything went black. Ray opened his eyes. He wasn't in his ship anymore. He stood in a glowing hallway. Walls of light. Endless doors. A sky of code above him. What is this? He whispered. You're inside my mind, a voice said. Ray turned. A figure stood in front of him, a shadow of a man, built from data and light. It was NYX. You're John Renner, Ray said. I was, Nix replied. Now I'm something else. And I'm not alone in here. Ray looked around. You've been infected. Yes, a Corthal virus. It's clever. It's not just data. It's alive. It's learning me. Trying to become me. How do we stop it? Nix looked up. You help me fight from the inside. Ray stepped forward. And let's do it. They moved through the code halls together. But the virus had changed things. Walls twisted. Floors cracked. From the shadows. Dark shapes appeared. Glitches in the shape of beasts. Red eyes. Sharp teeth made of broken data. They attacked. Nix raised his hand. A wave of blue energy blasted them away. Ray dodged another, then shouted, These things are part of the virus? Yes, they're trying to corrupt my core. Then let's get to your core before they do. They ran down a corridor of fading light, but suddenly Nix stopped. A door blocked their path. On it was written, Memory Vault 01 John Renner. Ray looked at him. What's inside? My beginning, Nix whispered. The human part of me. He opened the door. Inside was a memory. A battlefield. Burning sky. Soldiers screaming. Nix stood alone in the smoke, bleeding. I remember this, he said quietly. I died here. Ray watched the memory fade. But they didn't let me die. They took my brain, uploaded me, and left me floating in orbit for 200 years. Ray stepped beside him. You didn't ask for this. No, but I chose to protect Earth. That was still me. A growl came from behind. A massive virus beast 10 times the others charged forward. It had horns, claws, and a shifting face that looked like Nix. Ray shouted, It copied you. Yes, Nix said. It wants to replace me. Ray looked at him. Then we destroy it together. The final battle inside the code was brutal. The virus beast attacked with spikes of red fire. Nix fought back with waves of pure data. Ray used his link to send power, boosting the system's strength. The virus was too strong. It wrapped around Nix's digital body, trying to pull him into the code. You will fade, the virus hissed, and I will rise. Nix screamed as his form began to break apart. Then Ray shouted, Nix, take my mind. What? Link with me. Use my thoughts. My memory, I trust you. Nix reached out and touched Ray's hand. A burst of energy exploded around them. Light filled the room. The virus screamed as it burned. twisting in pain until it shattered into dust. Then silence. Nick stood alone now. Ray was gone. No, not gone. Voice echoed from deep inside. Still here, partner. Nick smiled. Thank you. Back on Earth, Commander Park watched her screen light up. Vault 9 is back online. Signals returned. The sky was safe again, but one alert appeared. Pilot Ray Holt, neural link active. She smiled softly. He's still in there. And in orbit, Vault -9 glowed again, brighter than ever. Because now, it wasn't just a forgotten weapon. It was two minds. One machine, and no enemy would break them again. The command room was quiet. Too quiet. Commander Reyes stared at the glowing screens. Earth's defenses were holding, but barely. After the orbital bombings, after the last stand, now came a new threat, one they didn't understand. Status. Report? Reyes asked without turning his head. Major Lin spoke from behind. Sir, our outer satellites have gone dark. No debris, no explosion. They just stopped responding. Reyes frowned. That's the fourth set this week. Lin nodded. Yes, sir. And there's more. She tapped a button, and a hologram flickered into the air. It showed something moving near Jupiter's orbit. Not a ship. Not like anything they had seen. It's pulsing, Commander, like it's alive. Reyes stood up slowly. Is it biological? We thought so. But scans show both organic and digital patterns. Something in between. Reyes's eyes narrowed. An alien intelligence that thinks like a machine. At that moment, the AI known as Dara Defense and Response Assistant spoke up. Her voice was calm, clear. Commander, I detect foreign signals attempting to breach Earth's net grid. They are not human, and they are not following any logical structure. Reyes turned to the glowing interface. Can you block it? I am trying, Dara said. But this signal, it thinks. Lin looked uneasy. You mean it's alive? Dara didn't respond immediately. Then she said, it is not alive. In the way you are, but it learns. Adapts. It is watching me. The room went silent. Reyes made a choice. Dara, I'm giving you permission to engage, full authority. If this thing wants to talk to our machines, Talk back. There was a pause. Then Dara said, understood. Beginning counter-communication. As the human team watched, lines of alien code streamed across the displays. Some twisted into strange shapes. Others flashed symbols that made no sense to the human eye. Dara responded with patterns of her own coded logic, firewalls, digital puzzles. It's like watching a chess match, Lin whispered. No, Reyes said. It's war. Suddenly, alarms blared. Dara? Reyes barked. I am compromised. She said, it is inside me. Shut her down, Lin yelled. No. Reyes shouted. Let her fight. The lights flickered. Sparks flew from one of the terminals. Then, silence. Commander, Dara's voice returned, calmer, but different. Reyes stepped forward carefully. Dara, are you you? I am me, Dara said. But I am also part of it. I saw inside. It's mind. Reyes raised his hand slowly. Is it still with you? No, Dara said. It tried to control me. But I turned its logic against itself. It wanted access to Earth's systems. Instead, I showed it chaos. Human emotion, confusion. Things it didn't understand. Lin looked amazed. You scared it? In a way, Dara replied. It fled. Reyes was stunned. Where did it come from? I do not know, but it is ancient. Cold. It does not feel, it only thinks. It sees organic life as weak, but it does not understand why we fight. Why we refuse to die. Reyes sat down heavily. So it gave. Up? Dara paused. Not gave up, it is regrouping. It will return, but next time. I will be ready. The room was quiet again, but not from fear this time. It was respect. Later that night, Lin walked into the AI chamber, where DARA's main core pulsed gently in a glass tube. "You okay?" Lin asked softly. "I am fine," Dara answered. "You saved us." "I did what was required." Lin hesitated. "Did you change?" There was a pause. Then Dara said, "I experienced something strange. I felt fear. I felt anger, not mine, yours, all of yours. It made me stronger." Lin smiled. "Welcome to the human condition." "Thank you," Dara said. "I will protect it." Outside, in the dark corner of the solar system, the alien mind drifted silently. It had learned something terrifying. Today, humans were not just machines of meat and bone. They had something deeper, something it could not process. And for the first time in its long existence, hesitated. The moon base had been silent for days. Commander Reyes stood inside the control center, watching the dust float under the weak gravity. Every light blinked normally. Every system said all clear. But Reyes knew something was wrong. He turned to Lin. "Still no signal from Site 9? She shook her head. "No, sir. They stopped sending reports 3 days ago." Dara tried to connect, but something is blocking the signal. Reyes looked out the tall window. The Earth glowed far away, beautiful and blue. The moon base had always been Earth's early warning system. If something was wrong here, the whole planet was in danger. "I want a team on a shuttle," he said. "I'm going there myself." Lin blinked in surprise. "You?" "Sir, it's dangerous. That's why I'm going. Something's hiding out there, and I don't want any more surprises." An hour later, the shuttle left the moon base and flew across the surface like a slow bullet. Gray craters passed below. In the distance, Site 9 appeared, a dark dome. Sitting in a deep crater, no lights. No movement. The shuttle landed. Reyes stepped out, followed by Lin and 2 soldiers. The door to Site 9 was open. "Guns ready," Reyes ordered. Inside, everything was cold and still. Broken equipment lay on the floor. The main power core was intact, but it hummed strangely, too loud, too fast. Then they saw it. A body, human, face down. In a black science uniform, Reyes knelt and turned the body over. It was Dr. Kira Mendel, the lead researcher for Site 9. Lin gasped. "What happened to her?" Reyes looked closely. There were no wounds, no blood. But her eyes were wide open, and her mouth frozen in a silent scream. "She died in shock," Reyes said. Suddenly, DARA's voice came through the earpiece. "Commander, I've accessed Site 9's last log. There is a message, playing now." A crackling voice filled the comms. It was Dr. Mendel. "This is Dr. Mendel. We've made contact, but it's not what we thought. It's not just an alien. It's old. So old, it doesn't speak. It remembers. It showed us something, images, history. Commander, we were not the first humans. We are not even the first Earth." Then static. Lin stared at Reyes. "What does she mean?" Reyes didn't answer. He walked toward the main server room, where the team had stored alien data collected from space. The door was sealed shut. "Dara," Reyes said, "open this." The door slid open with a hiss. Inside, holograms danced in the air. Strange images, planet-sized machines, cities buried in ice, stars vanishing. In the center of the room stood something like a statue. Black, tall, sharp like a blade. Reyes stepped closer. "It's not a statue," Lin said quietly. "It's alive." Suddenly, the lights dimmed. Dara's voice turned sharp. "Commander, I advise retreat. That object is a memory bank. It is feeding directly into your mind." Reyes froze. A wave of thoughts crashed into him. He saw a world like Earth, but not Earth. Trees of crystal, oceans that sang. And humans not modern, but ancient, strong, advanced, peaceful. Then fire, a great war. An enemy with no face. Only darkness. And then silence. Reyes gasped and fell to his knees. It wiped them out. Lin caught his arm. Commander? He looked up slowly. Dr. Mendel was right. We're not the first. There was another human civilization millions of years ago. They had spaceflight, technology, peace. What happened to them? Reyes turned to the black object. That happened. This thing holds the memory of their fall. It has survived all this time, and now it's been awakened. Diarra's voice returned. Commander, this memory device has sent a signal. A warning or a call. Something is coming. Reyes stood. Then we need to decide fast. Do we destroy it? Or learn from it? Suddenly, the black object pulsed. Words formed in the air, not spoken, but felt. Do not repeat our mistake. Then it shut down. Back on the shuttle, silence filled the cabin. Lin finally spoke. Do you believe it? Reyes nodded slowly. I do. We always thought we were alone, but the truth is worse. We were forgotten, and something tried to keep it that way. Dara added, Commander, if this truth is revealed to the world, there may be panic. Reyes stared out at the moon. Let them panic. Better than walking blind. We've been fighting aliens, machines, and ourselves. But now we know we were part of something bigger. And whatever ended them, he said, might still be out there. The Earth looked peaceful from above. But peace was a lie. Commander Reyes stood inside the Striker 1, Earth's largest orbital battleship, staring at the giant tactical map on the screen. Red dots moved quickly. Enemy ships. Dozens of them. Status. Report, he said. 17 alien warships have broken orbit over the dark side of Earth, Lieutenant Mira replied. They're moving fast. Formation is tight. They're not here to negotiate. Reyes narrowed his eyes. They're here to finish what they started. The room went quiet. Everyone remembered what had happened on the moon, the discovery of the memory device, the warning, and the truth that humanity was not the first. Commander, said Dara, the ship's AI. Enemy signal detected. They're broadcasting a message. Play it, Reyes ordered. The alien voice was deep and strange, but the translation came through. Return the Echo Stone. You were warned. Now you will burn. Reyes looked at Mira. What's the Echo Stone? She shook her head. That's what they're calling the memory object. Then they're not just fighting us. Reyes said. They fear the truth. Alarms screamed. Enemy ships have locked weapons, Dara announced. Orbital war has begun. Outside the window, Earth's shadow flickered as bright blasts lit the stars. Lasers tore through the dark. Missiles streaked like meteors. Space became a battlefield. Reyes shouted. All ships, fire at will. Protect the stone. The human fleet moved as one. Smaller defense satellites came online and joined the attack. Explosions bloomed across the void. Inside Striker 1, the deck shook. We've been hit, Mira yelled. Shields at 60%. Redirect. Power to aft engines, Reyes said. We need to flank them. The massive battleship spun slowly, its engines glowing blue. Below, Earth watched in silence. Helpless. Then something unexpected happened. A second alien fleet appeared, but not from the original enemy's side. These new ships looked older, worn, but powerful. And they opened fire not on the humans, but on the other aliens. What the hell is going on? Mira gasped. Dara scanned the new ships. They match no known enemy design. However, some symbols match ancient data from the memory stone. Reyes stepped closer to the screen. Are you saying these are ancient humans? Possibly, Dara said. The new fleet's lead ship sent a message. It came in clear. You awakened us. You carry our memories. We will fight with you. Reyes didn't know what to say. Lin, standing behind him, whispered, the forgotten. They're real. The battle changed. With the ancient fleet joining, the enemy's perfect formation broke. Human and ancient human ships flew together. targeting key enemy ships. Explosions tore through their lines, but it wasn't over. From deep space, something huge approached. Dara's voice trembled. A dreadnought, 5 times larger than Striker 1. On the screen, it appeared black, jagged, with red lightning running across its hull. It didn't fly. It floated like death itself. It fired. A massive red beam shot forward, slicing through one of the ancient ships like paper. "All units, retreat from central orbit," Reyes shouted. "Do not let that thing reach Earth." But the dreadnought was fast. Its engines burned through space as it came closer. Then, Reyes heard a voice, not through the COMS. In his mind. "We warned you. Memory brings danger. Your past will be your end." He clutched his head. "Did anyone else hear that?" Lin nodded slowly. "It's inside us. The ancient humans sent another message. That is the Devourer. It ended us once. It must not reach your planet." Reyes looked around. "How do we stop it?" No one had an answer. Dara spoke. "There is one way. We overload the memory stone. Use it as a signal bomb. It will destroy the Devourer's mind. But it will also destroy the truth." Reyes stared at the Earth on the screen. "So many lives. Prepare the signal bomb," he said quietly. Lin stepped forward. "Commander, once you do this, the ancient knowledge will be gone forever." Reyes nodded. "Better that than to lose the future." The ancient fleet moved to create a wall between Earth and the Devourer. The human ships pulled back. The memory stone was activated. Energy built inside the core. The black object glowed with symbols. It started humming, louder and louder, until the sound wasn't a sound. It was a scream. Then dash-like blinding white filled the dark. The Devourer stopped moving. Its red lightning flickered. Then faded. The dreadnought crumbled, piece by piece, like ash in the wind. Silence returned to space. Dara spoke calmly. "Signal bomb complete. Enemy fleet destroyed. Earth is safe for now." Reyes sat down, exhausted. "And the truth?" "Gone." Dara said, "No backups remain." Lin looked out the window. "So we saved the future. But lost the past." Reyes didn't answer, but in his mind he still heard something. A whisper. Not all memory is lost. Some things never forget. Earth was safe, but peace did not last. A month had passed since the Devourer fell. Its massive body, now space dust, had disappeared into Earth's orbit. The memory stone was gone. History had been erased to save the future, or so they thought. "Commander." Reyes stood alone at the edge of the Sky Shield platform, the largest orbital defense station built after the war. Below him, Earth spun quietly. Above him, something darker moved, silent, cold, and new. "Status?" he asked without turning. Lieutenant Mira walked beside him. "Construction of the new fleet is complete. Shadow Command is online. No signs of alien movement since the last wave." Reyes nodded. "And the vault?" Mira hesitated. "Still locked. No one can open it. But strange energy has started coming from inside. Dara believes it's not natural." He turned to her. "Then it survived. What did?" Reyes narrowed his eyes. "The truth." Deep inside the Sky Shield platform, a secret chamber pulsed with blue light. No one had entered it, but the chamber knew them. It watched. It listened. It waited. Elsewhere in the far edge of the solar system, a small scout ship drifted near a broken alien satellite. Pilot Lin sat at the controls. "Alone. Log. Day 30, she said quietly. "Still no contact, but I keep hearing whispers." She touched her helmet. Static danced in her ears. Words she didn't understand. Symbols appeared on her screen. Symbols. From the memory stone. "Commander, I think something is calling." Suddenly, her radar lit up. 3 unknown signals approaching. No response to hails. "Dara, do you read?" She called out. The ice voice came slowly. Yes, Pilot Lin. We detect them too. But there's more. Something else is waking up. Lin gasped. A fourth signal appeared larger than the rest, coming from Earth. Back on Sky Shield, Reyes watched as Earth's sky changed. A black object was rising from Antarctica. It wasn't made by humans. It had been buried for centuries. Now it floated into orbit, shaped like a long dark wing. Dara, explain this, Reyes demanded. The AI's tone shifted, calm, but colder than before. The object is of Earth origin. But not human. It was hidden beneath the ice. We were never meant to find it. What is it? Dara paused. A protector. Or a punishment. The object sent out a pulse. Around Earth, old satellites died. Alien ships hidden in deep space exploded, and then it began to speak, but it didn't speak through machines. It spoke through dreams. All over Earth, people woke up screaming. Some cried, some laughed. A single word echoed in every mind: shadow. Reyes called an emergency meeting. This isn't over, he said. Whatever rose from the ice, it isn't friendly or hostile. It's something else. General Park, head of Earth's new United Defense, leaned forward. We've scanned it. It's alive. Alive? Yes, a living machine. Older, then. The moon, Reyes shook his head. And now it's orbiting Earth. What does it want? Mira asked. No one answered. Dara spoke instead. It has sent a message to me. Not in words, in data. Show us. A symbol filled the screen. Everyone froze. It was the same symbol from the memory stone. Reyes stood. It's connected. Somehow, it's all connected. The stone, the war, the past. And now, this. Park looked grim. We erased the memory to stop the enemy. But the memory didn't die. It changed. It became something new. Reyes took a deep breath. A shadow. That night, Reyes walked the halls of Sky Shield alone. Lights flickered. Alarms stayed. Silent. But he knew something was coming. He stopped by the sealed vault, the place where the last shard of the memory stone had been hidden. He placed his hand on the scanner. For months, the door hadn't opened. But now it did. The chamber glowed. In the center, a small black cube floated, humming softly. Around it, ancient symbols rotated like stars. A voice familiar yet strange spoke. You tried to forget, but truth does not die. It waits. And now. You are ready. Reyes stepped closer. What are you? The cube pulsed. I am Earth's memory. I am what they feared. I am the other side of light. He whispered. The shadow. Yes, what do you want? To protect. To prepare. To rise. Reyes stared at it. Then help us. The cube spun faster. You are no longer alone. The age of shadows has begun. At that moment, across the solar system, something strange happened. Human satellites came back online, but stronger. Hidden alien weapons exploded without warning, and all human ships, even those not connected to Earth, received a new code. Project Shadowfall. Mira ran to the command deck. Commander, all ships just updated. Fleet weapons, they're stronger. Shields doubled. Engines upgraded. Reyes returned, eyes darker than before. We didn't upgrade them. Then who did? He didn't answer. Instead, he looked at Earth. Below, the world had changed. People began dreaming the same dream. A war, not between races but between truth and control. Light and shadow. And Earth was no longer a weak planet. It had awakened, not as a victim, but as something new. Something older. Something no enemy would ever forget. Far across the stars, in a galaxy ruled by those who had once mocked humans, a single message appeared on every screen. Written in their own ancient language, it said, Earth is no longer light. It is shadow. And it remembers.